as we approach Christmas season and the holiday season, and we get excited for gifts, warmth, hot chocolate, fun by the fire, family, this and that, I'm reminded of sweet baby Jesus, who was born of the Virgin Mary. All Hail Mary. Ooh. Because today we're talking about Hail Mary by Jean-Luc Godard. Today actually I was watching a Millie with my mother. She was sleeping on the couch / watching the movie. She was like in between dream and reality. And the times that she was awake and actually watching the film with me, there were a lot of like random sex scenes out of nowhere, just popped in there, just plopped in there. And it was funny because my mom was just laughing and like being like, she literally said, and I quote, "God, this movie is so French." And that gave me a good little chuckle. I think of Emily when thinking about Hail Mary, because think about it, if my mom was in and out of consciousness, right? And if she woke up and saw certain things on the screen that didn't really make sense, then it would make sense that she would be confused because she's only seen moments of the movie, not the full entire thing. I mean, French films and foreign cinema in general can get kind of, avant-garde and weird and confusing. So imagine sleeping, waking up, seeing something weird, and then going back to sleep and then waking up again and seeing something totally different that has no correlation. That's exactly how I feel about the film Hail Mary, and that's why I think it is my personal favorite film of Jean-Luc Godard's. Not only because it came out during the era of the 1980s, where his style started to plummet in the sense of what he was known by and what he was regarded as one of the best of all time by. That style was slowly starting to fade away a little bit. He was starting to, let's say, dip his cinematic toes into unknown territory, which can work for you or against you, depending on what kind of artist you are. Like me personally, I honestly thank God above that one of my songs has not blown up on TikTok yet, because I can only imagine the kind of weird pressure that puts on an artist who is already sensitive or weird about their own work. Just imagine your own song being the most popular and hottest thing on TikTok. That's gotta do something to the psyche. So I think Jean-Luc Godard, even though I don't know him personally, but from what I've heard and seen of him, he obviously was super duper hella influential to a lot of the greats today, such as Quentin Tarantino. But I think he went through a period of kind of not knowing who he was as an artist, kind of an identity crisis in that sense, or maybe he was just doubling down on the weirdness. Because the thing about Hail Mary is that it feels dejected from reality. It's trying to tell a modern day Mary and Joseph story through the lens of like the mid-80s. So imagine how weird that would be, because the mid-80s and the 80s in general was full of crazy, colorful, charming action movies and thrillers. I think this was an era where Jean-Luc Godard didn't really know how to fit in. But I think there's something beautiful to that, because it causes artists to make things that are misunderstood or that aren't appreciated until much later, or that are actually in fact much more hated later on. Because I feel like I'm the only person on the planet who would make a video like this and who would be defending this kind of film, because to be honest, it really is hard to get through. But if you view it as like slices of life and slices of dreams kind of mushed together, there is one scene in particular that I really love where it's just so calm. It has to do with like a Rubik's Cube, and then someone puts like their fingers over somebody's eyes like this, and it just, the aesthetic of that scene, I think that's the biggest draw for me, is that the aesthetics do not disappoint. The calm and dejected feeling from reality really has a syrupy thing that kind of goes down well. It kind of gives me warmth. Confusion when it comes to cinema is usually portrayed as something cold and callous and like calculated, or like something that has to be confusing because it's confusing. It has to have scenes that are, that feel confusing. But I think many times even the warmest of colors and the warmest of pastels and the warmest of collages can also, if you do it well enough or if you do it weird enough, you can find a way to even make the warmest painting, the most daunting, or the most scary, if that makes sense. So Hail Mary to me is not really like a normal film, nor is it a too crazy, too avant-garde film to digest, but it does take time. I only watched it one time, and I think that was enough for me, but I would love to go back and watch it. Would definitely recommend for you to watch it as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you later. Oh.